We know rents in Montreal have been going up and up in the past few years. But according to this new government report, the rental market in Montreal is easing. The vacancy rate went up to 2.9%, which means that there are more rental units up for grabs. Despite that, 2025 was a tough year for renters in Montreal. That's because there aren't a lot of affordable housing units available in the market. So, what will next year look like?
So next year, probably with the slower population growth and once again a lot of supply coming to the market, it's going to be, I would say, more challenging for landlords to attract tenants.
The province also introduced a new way of calculating rent increases. As of 2026, Quebec's Housing Tribunal will take into account changes in prices, variations in taxes, and even insurance costs. And Cordolino says that will end up putting more pressure on landlords.
And with the new formula you also use by the TAL, probably landlords will have, I would say, less room to increase rents when the tenant stays in the apartment.
Now, let's talk about the fact that the population is growing more slowly. The CMHC says that there are fewer international students and temporary workers in town, and they typically settle in neighborhoods like downtown and the NDG area. This is where the CMHC says the vacancy rate is at 6% and expected to keep going up. So landlords say they are preparing.
I see the next year to be an occasion for communication between landlord and tenants and make sure that we agree on something and that we find a point where we reach an agreement.
Monsieur says instead of slapping you with a rent increase through a paper notice, landlords and tenants will sit down and talk about each other's needs and negotiate. In some cases, there will also be incentives, such as a free month or waiving certain fees to attract renters to areas that are struggling. But housing advocates say this is not necessarily good news for renters.
Even if the vacancy rate has increased, so there is more availability, what is available is really expensive. So the crisis is not finished. For a lot of tenants at low income, modest income, finding some place that they can afford will stay a real struggle for the next months, years.
Lucia says the government isn't buying or building enough affordable and social housing. And if it doesn't ramp it up in the next year, it's likely more people will be forced out onto the streets.